such a huge challenge, probably the biggest challenge humanity faces.
A lack of action now is going to cost us far more in the future.
What more needs to happen?
I'm a retired police officer, the rank of Chief Superintendent.
I was a detective sergeant in the Metropolitan Police.
I ran our tactical aid group, which is the sort of equivalent to the Met's TSG, planning for emergencies.
Had you told me 5 years ago, John, you'll be arrested, you'll be interviewed in a police cell, I would have laughed at you. We've just had the hottest month in history.
You know, we really do face a climate emergency.
I have a 3-year-old called Natasha. I look at her and I can't help but wonder what the world will be like in 20 years' time.
There are times where I really struggle. I have 3 children and I have a grandchild.
The government and the media outlets must tell the truth about how serious these crises are. In a scenario where the climate has broken down, people fleeing from areas that are becoming uninhabitable for humans because they've become too hot or too wet.
Food supplies are being interrupted. Then the role of the police is always to try and bring order.
The security services, both police and the military as well, would be engaged in trying to stop people from basically killing each other for resources, basic resources like food and water.
I try not to think about it in the same way as I try not to think about her being involved in a car accident. But when she gets in the car, I put on her seatbelt. And so I think about climate change in the same way. I have to do what I can to try to make sure that she's going to be okay. In 20 years, when she is 23, and she will ask me, Daddy, what did you do? I hope that I can
the work that's been done by Extinction Rebellion and the work of the school strike movement has been hugely successful.
My huge respect goes to them for taking that step. Being locked up in a police cell is not fun.
I was arrested on Waterloo Bridge during the April rebellion to be interviewed by officers who could have been me.
It was the first big protest for me. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was out of my comfort zone, but I did feel self-conscious because I was used to being on the other side of the protest line, if you like.
I will be having a role within the movement, liaising with the police during the actions.
I'm here to call out the government to get them to do more, get them to do it faster.
The question is, what massive changes do you want? Changes that have been brought about by us, changing the way in which we live? Or do you want those changes to come about by massive climate upheaval? Everybody says, there's nothing I wouldn't do for my children. Well, now is your opportunity. Which side of history are you going to be on?